And we are live. Good morning, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to the Gentleman of Crypto, episode 1189. Today is Monday. Said March. I'm already ahead of myself. February 5th, 2024. And I'm King, here to bridge the gap between the community and crypto most days, Monday through Friday. And today's top story: South Korea regulator to discuss spot Bitcoin ETF with SEC, says Chief Gary Gensler. Employee loses $25 million of firm's funds after call with Deepfake colleagues. El Salvador initial polls show Nayib Bukele to win re-election, and GoDaddy to charge $0 for ENS.ETH name pairing. But first and foremost, of course, let's go ahead and take a quick look at these prices. Oh man. All right. So fear and greed index is at a 55. So still looking at neutral right now. Bitcoin is coming in at $42,987 down, or excuse me, up 0.32% now. Ethereum's at $2,311, up 0.57%. Number 4, BNB at $301, down 1.18%. Number 5, Ripple at 50 cents, down 1.19%. Number 9, AVAX at $35.22, down 1.1%. And Chainlink, Chainlink swooped up at that number 10 spot, $19.37, up 6.66%. Oh, that's a bad sign right now. It might go down, but up 35% on the 7-day chart. So shout out to Chainlink. Recently added Baby Pepe Fork, Bitminer X, and EDUM. And trending tokens are Jupiter, Sohotron, and Manta Network. Bitcoin dominance at 51.2% and Ethereum at 16.8%. Not much in the way of prices, a lot of sideways movement as the market figure out what's going to happen next. Again, that slow build up to the happening is still incoming. Can't wait to see what happens with that. And of course, we have more countries starting to adopt ETFs, which we'll be talking about today. Really quick shout outs going on Bitcoin, Shango, Humney, Developer, Chloe Dior, Smitty Farms, Wisdom, Bars, Hyben, Lord Smith, JB. Let's see. Caught me doing some Bible study. Hope all the Warriors will. Great way to start off strong. There we go. For sure. XRP is starting to piss me off. Come on, man. It should already piss you off. It shouldn't be pissing you off anymore. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing at this point. All right, let's get into it. It's going to be a short show today. Not much news as it slows down. Again, we're waiting on the happening, some other main events that happened in the space. But let's go ahead and hop into it. We were already talking about Hong Kong was doing this. It looks like South Korea will be following the steps of the United States as well, looking to expand on their offerings, their financial offerings with the ETF. When the SEC approved its spot Bitcoin ETF, South Korea's securities regulator warned local firms against brokering spot Bitcoin ETFs from the United States. Oh man, I thought we were friends. What happened? What happened, South Korea? South Korea's Financial Supervisory Service, FSS, the chief financial regulator in the country, is planning to tap the United States Securities and Exchange Commission for insights into spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds. And this is something we've seen across the space happen, and I think we're going to continue to see. And I'll call back to this when we're talking about El Salvador's president, Nayib Bukele, what he's doing with Bitcoin and how I think other nations will follow. It's the same thing here. South Korea sees, wow, the United States launched a Bitcoin ETF. They believe in it. They have the standard operating procedure of how this should look and what should, what goes in to get out and what type of dollars here and what type of paperwork you need to do. Yeah, let's not recreate the wheel. Let's steal it from them, of course, or borrow it from them. And while we're doing it, make sure we don't let our own investors, our own civilians and citizens jump into their ETFs because it will be a capital drain on our own country. So again, this is why I love Bitcoin. I believe in Bitcoin as a technology. Gone are the days where a limited amount of people who are literally your peers or even less than that tell you what you can do, your value. And right now you have South Korea telling their entire country, hey, you're not allowed to get a Bitcoin ETF from the United States. Like, just hold on. We're going to do our own and you can get it from us. Like, that's so whack that you have to do this per let's think of it in even layman terms. You have to do this per land mass you on. No matter, depending on what part of the land you're on the planet Earth, then you have to use a different denomination and only use that denomination with those people. You're not allowed to use it with other people. Why? Because other people told you so. It's so immature when you say it out loud, but that's what's going on a mass scale. That's why I love technology. It's going to get rid of so much stuff with the human element. I'll be calling back to technology today too. But yeah, I love Bitcoin for these reasons. This is absurd to see. South Korea is going to try it. Of course, for the big ballers in South Korea, they're not going to wait for their government to tell them when they can invest and in what. I'm sure some of these South Korean millionaires or go-getters or whatever are definitely investing in Bitcoin ETFs in the United States, either themselves through proxies, but they're saying, hey, hold out for now so we can do our own in South Korea. Again, this is the power of Bitcoin. No longer can someone you're like literally, no longer can your peer or someone who you don't even consider a peer tell you what you can do with your value, when, and how. But the FSS examines and supervises financial institutions under the broad oversight of the Financial Services Commission. Their chief Lee Book Han presented a business plan for 2024 at the Financial Supervisory Service in Seoul on February 5th. The plan includes visits to major advanced financial markets such as New York. Is it really that advanced, or is it just has a chokehold on the game? In the second quarter of the year to discuss various aspects of South Korean financial markets, including discussions on spot Bitcoin ETFs, according to a report. The FSS chief revealed that he plans to meet SEC Chair Gary Gensler later in 2024. So, hey, according to Gensler, he like, hey, I'm gonna be in office. I don't know what these people talking about, to discuss digital assets and spot Bitcoin ETFs, among other issues. He added that the SEC's recent approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs had a major impact on the world's financial policies. And again, the only reason the United States decision to add a Bitcoin ETF had a major impact on the world's financial policies is because they're weak, no backbone. Why are you waiting on what the United States does with a crypto digital currency ETF for you as a country to decide what you're going to do with your financial policies? Super weak. And these are the reasons why, hey, shout out to America, baby. This is why everybody say America number one. These are the type of reasons why. People are like, well, you don't have the best educational system, or you don't have the best clean energy, and you don't have the best, all that, whatever. But what we do have is leadership. What we do is lead the way for most things, not everything, for many things. And things like this, oh man, it makes me shake my head at other countries and make me be it makes me proud to be an American, because it's like, why are you sitting back waiting for literally another country that used to be a rival, that could once again one day become a rival if we ever don't really see utility in the region? Like, why would you wait for them to decide what you're going to do? That is being backed by the dollar. That's what it looks like. And hey, shout out for our nation for being able to do it. But again, this is what Bitcoin, the technology, does, not just the price point and the cash of all that, the money, the metrics of it, but the technology of it. It allows you to say, you know what? I like what they're doing in South Korea right now. I want to invest my money into this. I like what they're doing in Egypt right now. I like what they're doing in Antarctica right now. Wherever you want, I like what these humans are doing. I want to be a part of it somehow, some way. Bitcoin is the introduction to that through the financial side of it, but of course, it has so many far-reaching applications where you don't have to talk money. Now you can talk sharing software, open source software, things like that. So once again, this to me shows it to be a big win for the technology of Bitcoin. But and shout out to Jake Fever. I know you've been screaming this lately too, as well as Trek. This is where we're going to see the movement in the capital markets now, because now we got Hong Kong and South Korea essentially pledging a Bitcoin ETF. They just want to wait until they meet with U.S. regulators. I know what's up. They want to check. Hey, Uncle Sam, is it okay if we do this? Are we allowed to? Okay, we don't want to step on your toes. All right, so that's really what's going on. They want to talk to the U.S., make sure we're not going to step on their toes or our toes. They're not going to do things that are, I guess, like anti-strategic to us when it comes to the ETF. Like, let's say, for example, we're only doing the cash in, cash out system. We don't want to see South Korea and Hong Kong saying we can do a cash in, crypto out. Like, that's what the U.S. is going to be like, oh, I thought we were all friends here. What are we doing? So that's probably why they're doing it. They want to get the U.S.'s point of view of what they consider the right and wrong way of moving, SOPs in the space, standard operating procedure. And then once they get that, they'll probably create or tinker with their framework before they release theirs as well. But again, that's two more huge countries, Hong Kong, South Korea, joining the Bitcoin ETF market. What I want to key in on, which we still do not know yet, no one in the market knows this yet, is what is the backing? Will it be one Bitcoin to one Bitcoin for ETF, or will it be again 100,000, a million Bitcoin ETF, or 100 million? What do they price it as Satoshis basically? Will it be that many ETFs per one Bitcoin? Because that to me will be the far that would be the like the far wide reaching application of how it affects Bitcoin and the price of Bitcoin. Where if they're saying yeah, it's 1 to 1, then yeah, that price is about to shoot up crazy in the short term. But if they actually try to push it out there where they're like, no, it's 100,000 to 1, it's 500,000 to 1. Come on, why wouldn't you? I mean, why would you not? And to be honest, if you don't do it now, they'll do it later. It's kind of like how they split stocks later on. They'll figure out the right verbiage and the narratives that make you believe what they're going to tell you. But even if they don't do it now, in 5 or 10 years, will they say, yeah, we know these ETFs used to be one Bitcoin to 1, but these new premier quadruple A plus ETFs, oh man, this Bitcoin's 1 to 1 million, like type of deal. Like it's going to be crazy. So I think they will eventually dilute it. I want to see they do it now or later. But I think once they do that, man, that could really manipulate the market. It could slow down the growth of what people expect and want the price of Bitcoin to be, not just Bitcoin, other cryptos as well. So again, that's going to be interesting to see. Les Square, New Jersey in the house. What's going on? PFC Will. So I would say Hong Kong is in a different category compared to South Korea. Yeah, South Korea sides with US and Hong Kong sides with CCP. Well, to be clear, they don't necessarily side with them. They just don't have a choice in the matter. So we'll see but I get what you're saying. Yeah, they don't have a choice in the matter when it comes to mainland China and many things. So I get what you're saying for sure. Let's say, why are they following the US's lead? That's why they have the issues they have now. No backbone. Oh, PFC Wells said he was saying the same thing this morning. Make sure you check out Weekend Crypto, 5 a.m. It came on this morning. I saw it pop up, caught a quick minute of it. Trek, that's what's up. Let's see. They want to make sure there's no loaning of Bitcoin. Exactly. This is what I'm telling you. Listen, it is going to be crazy. Yeah, shout out to Zay. He's in spirit today. He's feeling a little under the weather. I'm starting to feel it too. Listen, do y'all see my background? This is supposed to be sunny LA. It never rains in Southern California. How does the song go? I don't know. But this is supposed to be LA. This is what's so whack about LA, people. They tried to scare us and threaten us a few months ago, last year sometime, with the rain of the century and all that, which, by the way, they called it late because we had a worse rain before that. But this is the one they should have warned us about. The streets are flooded. It's terrible right now. Like you can't, this is basically, if you've been in the South and it snowed, you've been snowed in with half an inch of snow, this is that experience right here in, in Los Angeles right now. So yeah, it's crazy out right now. I'm feeling under the weather. It's that energy in Southern California. We're going to be like this for a few days. But I'm not complaining because I hear the rest of you all in the rest of the United States, with exception like Miami, are freezing your asses off. So I'm not complaining at all. I'll take a little bit of rain for a couple of days, a few days before I do that ice and snow again. All right. With that being said, okay, I told you there will be a lot of callbacks today. You guys are hilarious. Local TX said Calabasas house is going to be sliding down the wall, yo. Listen, this is what I understand. Between come on, stop making me go on tangents. I almost got to stick in the crypto. I was on time right now. But a quick side note: why do people keep rebuying and buying the houses in some of the hills? Like they're buying them out in the valley where it's a fire every year or a mudslide. Is this a new or not a new? Is this an old money laundering play? I didn't know. They're like, no, King, what you do is buy a $20 million mansion on this hill. You make sure you get it properly insured. Man, that thing's gonna sell itself in a couple years, buddy. I don't know. Am I missing something? I don't know. Do we have an air purifier? I used to actually have an air purifier at home. I got rid of it because I was like, it's just too much stuff. I don't need it. Oh my goodness. I got to regretting that thing this year for sure. All right. I said I was going to be doing some more callbacks to technology. Here's one of them. Employee loses $25 million of firm's funds after call with deepfake colleagues. That's right. Either in a intricate lie or the possible truth. No matter what, this story is super wild. Wow. An employee was invited to an online meeting with the firm's chief financial officer and other staff, except none of them were real. Right off the heels of the movie Bitcoin, us calling back to 2017, back when we were talking about the cybersecurity threat and how these hackers and scammers are sophisticated now, where some of them have fake offices, fake employees, fake LinkedIn's. Like, I mean, at this point, some of the scammers, oh man, some of the scammers are so sophisticated and entrenched in their scam, like mainstream America believes them. Miami, they had FTX Arena. Like Los Angeles right now has the crypto.com arena. That like we believe the scam. So again, they look real. A lot of them look super real. They're just super sophisticated. And again, the people who they're dealing with aren't, I won't even say intelligent enough, because it's more ignorance than intelligence, but they just aren't well versed enough to see it as scam or to ask the right questions, especially when it comes to this space. So this was a deep fake one. Deep fake scammers managed to trick an employee at a multinational firm into sending out more than $25 million of company funds in an elaborate scam that impersonated multiple company executives in an online video meeting. Again, I maintain the stance that it either happened like this or he was in on it and he's trying to make it seem like he doesn't know what happened. But regardless, it happened. In a statement seen on radio, television, Hong Kong, that throws me off. A statement seen on radio, television. It's a radio TV show. Hong Kong actor, senior superintendent Baron Chan of the Hong Kong Police Force's Cybersecurity Division said the incident started last month when the employee received a fake message from the firm's chief financial officer inviting them to a video call to discuss a confidential transaction. Speaking of Hong Kong, yeah, it's crazy. We were just talking about that. Shout out to Hong Kong too. I mean, Lan Kwai Fong, Wan Chi. I had great times, of course, both of them. Lan Kwai Fong is the party spot, and of course, for those who know, Wan Chi is the red light district, so it's just like no holds bar out there. But it's those are both fun places, a lot of good food there. The scammers use shout out to Macau too. Won some money, lost some money, and attended one of the best pool parties of my life in Macau. The scammers used several deepfake company executives to convince the employee to send $25.5 million of the firm's funds across 15 transactions to 5 bank accounts. So, I mean, this thing was serious. I mean, he was sending transactions. It wasn't just a one-time deal. Chan said he believes that scammers took previous footage of the company's executives to create the deepfake impersonations. I believe the fraudster, quote, downloaded videos in advance and then used artificial intelligence to add fake voices to use in the video conference, said Chan. The people in the video conference looked like the real people, he stressed. The employee only realized the scam after consulting the company's head office. The police said it was the first case of its kind in Hong Kong amid a steep rise in deepfake scams in the region. We want to alert the public to these new deception tactics, Chan stressed. We can see from this case that fraudsters are able to use AI technology and online meetings, so people must be vigilant in meetings with lots of participants. All right, so that's basically the story. Here's the technology callback, and now we have to get into it. Hopefully I don't. Hey, I'm trying to listen. I'm honestly trying to take a nap before I get my day started, folks. I got a lot to do today. I want to take a quick nap at the show, so I won't try to rant for too long. But here we go. Local TX, you guys are hilarious. Holy fuck. Yeah, all right, we're not doing this in the comments now. I'm not messing with you all. But here's what's crazy about the story in the technology callback. All right, here, man, people, it's about to happen faster than what you think. First of all, I actually feel for this guy if this is a real story and this company. This is not going to be the first or last of these stories. Yes, if you're a multinational company, which most multinational companies, their cybersecurity still isn't like that. Like the biggest of the biggest, you're talking about Apples and Google's, like, yeah, it's like that. But you talk about some bigger banks, like it's not that great. A lot of these, like even international for sure, isn't like that. International, multinational, their cybersecurity, you're telling me at every branch of your company, in every region, at every branch, every person's trained on cybersecurity, and you all have a protocol that everyone's following. There's no cracks, there's no holes. Give me a team of 3 to 5 people and roughly like $120,000 budget. In 3 months, we'll find the hole at one of the spots. And I'm gonna do that professionally. It's like we'll find the hole. We'll observe enough people to where we're like, you see the guy with the mustard stain on the shirt? Let's try him. Like that's the sloppy one. Let's go for that stuff. So there's not enough cybersecurity in the world right now where people are trained on it for a multinational company. Now you introduce technology. You're talking about AI, scanning faces. Like this whole thing with this Hollywood AI. It was interesting to see the nation kind of push back against, these are spoiled actors. Who cares about the protections? Is going that way anyway. One thing all these people forgot, including the judge, jury, literally, as well as politicians, is that all the AI can be used across markets. It's not just for actors. We can use it now for judges. Why do you need a real judge? Let's download the law books into a computer and have the computer do the rulings. Why do you need a politician? Same thing. We all vote on our apps. Oh, those votes go to an AI system and they decide what the region is going to be doing as far as politics. So it's going to touch everything. And now that the genie's out the bottle, it's going to get crazy. So what am I talking about? I have, of course, already talked to you about using the metas and playing games on like the new Meta Quest 3s or whatever. Finally just saw some of the reviews of the Apple, whatever you call the Apple glasses or whatever, right? People, this is their first iteration. It is to the point, if you've seen some of these reviews, there's people skateboarding downtown New York wearing these Apple goggles. I've seen their FaceTime features, which again, all the Apple stuff right now is in beta. They already can do essentially like a deep fake for your own FaceTime, right? Like you're essentially scanning yourself, your face, your body, or your face and your eyes, whatever. And then with that scanning, takes a picture where they think you look like. That's what they put out there. And it's not super close, but I would say it's like a 6 or 5 of a 10. This is the first iteration with goggles. People, literally within, I'm giving it 8 years right now. We're going to have this in glasses. My girl said we might even have my contact lens in, right? I said we might skip the contact lens step and go straight to Neuralink since Elon Musk is working on it. But regardless, if we just get it down in glasses form from goggles, which is super possible when you look at how big a cell phone was when it came out to how big a cell phone is now. And I mean, this is the iPhone 15, and this is a 13 mini. Like, just the size differences is crazy. So you're talking about we have goggles right now. We're going to get them down to glasses eventually. And they already do FaceTime calls and everything else in the goggles. You won't need a cell phone. You'll literally have glasses on. You won't need a cell phone. You'll have a HUD in your glasses. You can see things, scroll the internet when you're walking around, take calls on them right now. The same as I do with my Apple Watch. Like, oh my God, I got too much technology over here, people. Listen. You got the Apple Watches. You can take calls on these. You got the headset. You don't need your phone. I don't use my phone when I'm jogging and stuff. So it's happening right now. Like, that's my point. This employee losing $25 million, whether this was an actual scam, he was in on it, or it actually happened, this is going to proliferate. Already with some of the technology that's out right now, you can start getting people on Zooms. It's kind of tough to integrate it. But as this stuff matures and advances, I give it 3 years right now on a low end, and you start having more Meta Quest and more Apple. If that becomes the wave, again, all you need is that app to go along with it. Then you better believe when people, because right now, I mean, it's so beautiful. I was looking at the Apple stuff. If let's say you have a team of 10 people, if everyone used the Metas or the Apple glasses or whatever, and entered a virtual meeting and sat in the same place every time, like the poker games you can play on there. You can look left and see them. You can look right and see them. And that's your meeting. If that meeting gets hacked, someone can have a deep fake that looks like your boss, and you're used to going to this virtual meeting twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m. And then on the third Thursday, your boss tells you, hey, at the end of this meeting, make sure you send $9 million to this account I'm sending you. It's a new branch we're starting. This is the same meeting you've been doing for months. You don't know any better. Like, it's going to happen. So buckle up. This is about to get interesting. It is going to get interesting when it comes to technology, because this is only the beginning. Again, this was a Hong Kong article, Hong Kong story, where an employee lost $25 million of the firm's funds after a call with Deepfake colleagues. I think, again, this could be a scam. He could be in on it, or it could have truly happened. But regardless, I think this is really just the beginning of this. It's about to get wild out here when it comes to technology. Hyman said, please buy some Apple products and need my stock to move up. Casper said, Ready Player One is set in 2045. Listen, we're going to have Ready Player One. I'm calling it officially. We're going to have it at this point. I would say 5 years. It's 5 years is going to be close. It won't be built all the way out, but we'll be at the precipice. People are skateboarding with the goggles on, people. Like they're in public with them. They're in public wearing the goggles. It's only so long before they get them smaller. Like, and I'm telling you now, if and when they do get them smaller, I'm definitely going to have them. I'm literally going to be one of the first people with them. They connect to your MacBook already and stuff. Yeah, as soon as they get them smaller, I'm on them. So I think this is happening. All right, El Salvador is in the news. Let's see what's going on with El Salvador. Hold on really quick. Let me look at some comments. I know we got some great comments in here. Let's see. Oh, okay. Baltimore said they got some sun out. How you like my B-more accent? My B-more. I like my BMO accident. Hey, listen, shout out to Baltimore. Those are great times in my life as well. What is that, Fed Hill over there, Federal Hill or whatever in that whole area? It's good times with Baltimore. Let's see. Local TX said that is a lie. Who has the ability to approve $25 million and not go through several checks before approving it? So that's my thing. Like, I feel like he was either in on this or this story is, I don't know, maybe we're missing some information. But I mean, not really. Like, you'd be surprised if you are one of one of the top people in charge of the finances. It's just like any other job. It's like that's your job. Especially, I'm assuming if you're at that level where you do have $25 million, it's up to you to send it and where and how. You got to remember, it wasn't $25 million at one time. I think we saw it was 15 different transactions, right? So, let's say he had the ability to send up to 2.5 million for a multinational firm. Like that's realistic. That's easy. So yeah, he has the ability to send 2.5 million, 1.6 here, 900,000 here, 1.3, 1.2, 1.4, 1.6, 2, 2, 2, 9. You got 25 million just like that. So I think it is like that is possible to do. Like if you are at that level, and again, for a person who's doing a $2 or $3 million, they probably already been cleared for 500,000, for $1 million, for years and years before that, and they've shown they can handle it. So it's definitely possible. Again, it was 15 transactions. The biggest thing is like how did they not catch it until now? It's kind of like, and once again, you want to believe that's BS too, but then you look at who was it? Which crypto exchange was it? Was it Binance or BitMEX? Somebody help me out. But which crypto exchange was it? Or was it crypto.com? I don't know. But I think it was crypto.com. Who didn't do the audit for like a year and then found out the Australian family had like $3 million or something, right? Like that happens. Like they don't audit. They don't look. This is what I'm trying to tell you. This is happening off regular transactions. And you think they got cybersecurity? Like, well, are you kidding me? No, like honestly, that's probably one of the best. If for people who are looking into a life of crime and being a criminal, being a hacker is probably the best thing you could have been in the last 5 or 10 years and still be the next 5 or 10 years because they're extremely hard to catch. They're extremely hard for people to catch, like for the government to catch. B, most companies will either pay the hacker or even if they were caught, they don't even want they don't want the headline. They do not want the headline that you were able to get into their system. They rather either do not prosecute him, slap him on the wrist, do what y'all need to do. Do not give him some type of sentence where this is going to make the news, him or her, by the way. So they don't want the headline, these companies. They have the money to pay the ransom half the time. So literally, I'm not advocating for it at all. I mean, I definitely don't like scammers or hackers. They're tearing us up in this space. But before you actually go physically point a gun at somebody, rob a bank, or join a gang or do those other things, just grab it like a computer and sit your ass in the corner for a few hours. Like, this is crazy. So I don't know. I kind of believe it, man. Like, I kind of believe it. Let's see what else we have in the comments. See some good comments. Iowa snow is crazy. They snowed out there in Iowa. Ooh, that's no good. All up in the chemtrail clouds. Right here behind me, I'm assuming, Chloe. Yeah, listen, you have no idea. It's definitely been some chemtrail clouds up here where I live. Also, it was a very strange event. It made the news, so you guys can look it up. Like Google like bees, like a bunch of bees in Los Angeles 3 months ago. But I kid you not, like a beehive flew through here. I was just staring at my window one day and I saw it coming. I shit you not. I just saw like a weird cloud coming. I was like, it's moving fast. I closed my window and like it was just a ton of bees that were flying by. I'm up there too, so I don't know how it happened or what was going on with Mother Nature. But I ended up Googling it like later on that day or the next day, and it was like confirmed. It was like a bunch of bees are flying around or something. I don't know. This is LA, man. I'm just like the simulation is real out here. Okay, I went to this same CVS I go to. I went to like 4 or 5 times for, and 3 of the times it was a guy in the same spot smoking. He didn't even work there too. He's a customer. I'm like, do he always come here like on every night at 5 p.m. just smoking the same spot? Like the simulation is real. Let's see. Local TX said you can't pull $10,000 from a bank without so many checks and double checks, but someone allowed 25 mil to get pushed out. Nah, bro. I feel you. I feel you. Let's see. Yeah, I'm agreeing. Like it sounds like he was in on it, but again, people, I wouldn't doubt it because we're talking a multinational company. What if they're worth a multinational company? What if they're worth 20 or $30 billion? Like 25 million Again, at 15 transactions of 2 million or less, you are not noticing that. You should be noticing that. But as far as like the corporate, the headquarters, they're not noticing that. Those satellite branches will have to check it out. Let's see. PFC Well said, yep, it's a matter of time. They already got Fed Treasury deepfake commercials on YouTube. Been running for more than a month already. Ooh, man. Let's see. Too much nepotism in the field is why a lot of people don't know stuff. Yeah, I agree with that. Let's see what's going on. It's been going on since filters. That's true as well. Those filters changed the game. Let's see. Seeing a video this morning of a guy wearing goggles in New York City train. He was just typing away. Listen, I'm telling you, it's going to get crazy. Let's see. What else we have? They said nobody wearing them dumb goggles, said Jake. Hey, Jake don't be playing. Jake is funny. All right, let's see. El Salvador initial polls show Nayib Bukele to win re-election. Again, shout out to Nayib Bukele. I've only heard good things about him from actual people from there. And this is this is already a big thing. Of course, if he does win it, it's going to be a victory lap like none other. But you have to remember, the world has been against Nayib Bukele. Why? Because he stopped using the dollar and dollars and fiat currency for everything and started to move toward Bitcoin. If you remember, the International Monetary Fund tried to, low-key threaten and press him by saying, hey, if you go forward this Bitcoin thing, we're going to have to pull our funding from you. And he was like, cool, pull the funding. We're going to do our own thing. And it's been working out ever since. Exit poll data show that Nayib Bukele's Nuevas Ideas party securing 87% of votes, with official numbers expected shortly. So that's a landslide if that is true. But this is his second term in office. He was running for early voting data saying, hey, he looks like he has 87% of the votes so far. Commanding lead of over 1.1 million votes with 31.5% of the votes counted. So yeah, so far he's in the hitter race. Again, this is important to the Bitcoin community because if he does win, then Bitcoin in this country, we know for sure, moves forward, marches forward. If someone else wins, and I'm not that well versed on his opponents, but I don't know for sure they're going to be pushing this whole Bitcoin thing. Especially, you got to remember, like, it's a lot of pressure to push Bitcoin as a country because that quick you got the IMF on the phone saying, hey, we're pulling funding from your country if you make your own financial move like this. Another opponent or another person in power might say, I don't want beef with the IMF. I don't want beef with the US. I don't want beef with all these banks and all these other countries. Like, we have so much going on here in our country. I'd rather just take the check from them and some friendly advice and we do our own thing. Right? They could just do a total 180. So I wanted him to really win and stay in power so he can keep pushing this Bitcoin standard in this country, and we can see how far and wide he can take it. And hopefully other countries will watch how El Salvador operate, how it helps them, and say, hey, we can do the same thing. So that's the expectation. Glad to see he's in the lead right now. And again, hopefully he can take the dub as well. I was looking at the comments. I just saw DM Carr said Baltimore. Oh man, listen, that's y'all funny. Yeah. Okay, it was Fed Hill. Yep. Fed Hill is where everybody goes to take pictures. And don't get it twisted. I know that's a touristy spot, but I also listen. I know some backwood restaurants and stuff on the water. I know some good spots that's hidden out in real BMO as well. I done got lost a couple times by mistake. Oh my God, man! I was like, this is what it feels like when people say they visit inner city Detroit. I was like, I gotta get the hell up out of here. Let's see. Also, have to remember most of the folks being anti-goggles in the chat are above 35. You know it. I didn't say anything. Listen, our millennial generation, y'all just as bad. Y'all are turning into old people. We can't get old like this, all right? We can't do it. But Trek is right. They're over the age of 35. Y'all forgetting the way the younger folks look at tech, not how older heads see it. Trek, tell them, listen, people, I'm almost 40. It's happening. All right. I'm getting old. It's happening. And if you're anywhere near me, so are you. So knock it off. Talking about these guys. Listen, this shit's happening. All right. Shout out to Marquise Brownlee. I saw a few reviews, his being one of them. Did a great job. He was talking about how it was faster for him to actually look at so I guess one of the ways to text is to look at letters and press your fingers. He says it's faster for him to look at the letter and press his finger than it actually is to text using his fingers on the goggle. So like stuff like that, you think they're not going to, this is right now, this is the first gen. They're not going to improve on that. You're telling me? You're crazy. Like the AirPods I'm wearing, these are the new Pros compared to the second or something gen regular ones. Like it's crazy the amount of technology in these. Where if you use them, yeah, you got the transparency where you can hear everything. You got the soundproof you can switch it to. It's crazy. So no, it's happening. I'm with it. You better get with it. Listen, the good thing is hopefully these youngins will figure out the cure-all technology where we can get all our elements cured going through a machine or something. Think positive, people. Think positive. Yes, Mr. Robot is coming as well. They don't audit. So you're saying I should be a criminal hacker. Got it. Listen, I'm saying if you do it and don't get caught, it might work out. If you do get caught, I'm pretty sure it won't, though. Let's see. Jake said, I'm calling it. The goggles are going to be a trash experiment. Nobody wears stuff on their face unless benefits extremely out the way of the risk, or they're just crazy. I'm calling it, Jake Fever. Self-driving cars, goggle glasses. I agree. They won't wear the goggles, but they get those down. Remember, my metrics is that they get them down to scale. If they can make them to glasses, it's happening. Oh, it's definitely what a self-driving car with some glasses on. And then look, this is why it's going to work too. This is the way I was trying to wrap it around. That's my fault. Paying in crypto. You won't need your phone. You won't need your wallet. You won't need nada. You'll need the glasses that are going to have all the technology in it. You'll go to the register. You'll look. You'll blink hard twice, and your payment will go across the screen. Don't believe me? As at Whole Foods in Los Angeles right now, Google already has the palm reader where you just put your palm up, or is it Amazon? One of them has a palm reader where you put your handprint up or whatever, and you pay using your handprint. So don't like they're already doing this biometric stuff. They're literally just going to do it. And now these reviews are saying they can read your eye sensors. You look at different windows, the windows pull up. Yes, put it in the glasses for them. You look at the cash register, you blink 3 times, your payment goes across, you go about your day. A phone call comes in, answer, you say out loud, the phone call answers. Like, what are you talking about? This is happening. With the self-driving cars too. Buckle the hell up. Oh man, they're gonna make you do some KYC nonsense. So they already did. So this is what's hilarious. I would love to see Apple's privacy contract right now. When I was looking at the reviews, people are literally loading up their biometric data and doing an AI scan for Apple. And I'm sure Apple, oh, we don't keep it. We don't have people. What? For every person that, for the matter too, for every person who put them goggles on their head, oh, you already cloned. You just don't know it yet. Shout out to Fallout 4. Listen, I've been playing a lot of Fallout 4 lately, people. I know the TV show is coming this year. If you don't know what Fallout 4 is, the things explored in that game, holy shit, they're coming. These synthetic humans are on the way. All right, let me get back to crypto. Last story of the day. GoDaddy to charge $0 for ENS.ETH name pairing. That's right. Domain registrars GoDaddy and Ethereum name service signed a partnership that will allow users to link Web3 based .eth domains to DNS top level domains at no cost. A partnership between Ethereum name service and domain registrar GoDaddy will allow the Web3 community to link their .eth name domains to traditional Web2 domains at no extra cost. As a decentralized domain name system, ENS.ETH domains allow users to register domain names. It's too much words sounding too similar. To register domain names on Web3, simplifying complex wallet addresses into readable names, among other features. With GoDaddy on board, Web3 users can now link their .eth domains with traditional URLs at no extra cost. I'm assuming this is if that URL does not already exist, of course. I'm going to go ahead and assume that, because I highly doubt that they're going to say, oh, well, you got the .eth of this or .eth, ENS of this, will be www.google.com. It's like, well, that's not going to happen. But this is pretty cool as well. These partnerships, I think these are good. This is what people need to see to kind of bring some of these to the forefront. What I think is going to be interesting is seeing, like, to me, if anything, this is the stuff that's going to have a slower adoption and slower takeoff than the goggles or glasses would, right? Trying to get people off .coms and wwws to .ENSs and stuff. And of course, I bought a couple of those names as well. I had to airdrop when it happened. So I appreciate the value of it there. But as far as getting people to swap from the traditional side to this new Web3 thinking, again, we don't even have the killer app yet. this is super new within itself, and this is an ecosystem. This isn't even just a product, maturation of a product, right? You're talking about iPod, iPhone, AirPods, and watch. Those are maturations. This is an entire new ecosystem where they're saying, no, we're about to redo the entire .com landscape. So to me, this is going to be tough to have for adoption. So you're going to need things like GoDaddy. Again, I'm assuming you're not going to get that same URL as you would if it was a popular URL. I'm assuming these are going to be the far off ones or ones you haven't heard of already. But again, it will be interesting to see how these partnerships start to form. I think also this is kind of a weak move on the ENS side, Ethereum name service, and some of the companies that are partnering and working with them. Why? Because it's kind of like what I just said about South Korea. It's like, stop waiting on the US. Like, stop. You know how I feel about this. For people in Bitcoin and crypto, stop going to the traditional sector trying to figure out how to make it work. It's like figure out how to make it work in this new paradigm, this new landscape, in this new market. So, and I get it. This may be not them figuring out how to make it work. This is just them trying to attract volume, attract new customers. And I will assume that these URLs are already paid for because the ENS names cost so much to begin with. If you all knew that, right? Not just the gas fee, but they cost a few bucks to begin with, 10, 15 bucks, 20 bucks, 30 bucks, 40 bucks, depending on how long you got it for. So I'm assuming, especially now that the price of Ethereum appreciated since those were bought, they're probably going to say, here, GoDaddy, or hey, GoDaddy, if you promise to match these, we'll pay them off to you. We already have the money from the sales prior as well as new sales, because again, we'll be getting that in Ethereum. So that can actually pay for your URL. So I can see how the business side of it works. And I can see, again, the value. Maybe you're getting new volume, but I don't know. I would have liked to have seen ENS keep trying to do different things on their own to see what type of customers and volume they could attract, because attracting traditional volume isn't always a good thing, because they're going to come in expecting one way of things, one way of doing things. And then when they're seeing ENS and Web3, and oh my God, that's going to be too much for some people. It'll be too much for some people. Goggles equals Las Vegas sphere quality. Is that good or bad? Because I think the sphere quality is good from what I saw, but I haven't been there personally, so I'm not sure. Let's see. S1 Dove said the smartphone's already deteriorating everyone's eyesight. Can't imagine what the effect these goggles are going to have on eyesight. That's you guys. Listen, you got to forward think. That's the beautiful thing. I agree with you. They will deteriorate eyesight, but that's the smaller picture. You got to remember, these are profit-seeking dirty bird DJ companies. All right. Like, that's beautiful to know. Like, yes, we want to deteriorate your eyesight. Why? So you can buy our new glasses and goggles that improve your eyesight up to 4,000%. Like I said, I think that's coming too. People, what these goggles and glasses are going to have all type of magnifiers and shit on there. What? Listen, it's happening. It's coming. Okay, we're going to see. Last few comments before we call it a day. Didn't WWE, WWF have a partnership with GoDaddy? Not sure, but I know they had a lot of partnerships. I mean, shout out to GoDaddy. I think I have one of my domains to them. They do a good job. So no GoDaddy slander whatsoever. So I mean, again, great people to partner with, great people to get volume from. I just like to see each side do his own thing, kind of. IT is definitely happening. Technology is part of the human advancement, but of course, humans will find a way to be human. Exactly. Listen, it doesn't stop people. If we were to stop fighting technology and for real work together, if Google, Facebook, Apple, and everybody else could work together with the deep south from technology, people, we listen, light years ahead. We will already be there, but so many people actually don't like technology. I can understand why, though. Like, let's not get it twisted. I do see the future being AI and robots, and I think it's going to be a terrible thing. I keep saying we need to vote if robots are going to have the same rights as us or not, as well as clones. We need to have this vote, a world vote on paper. Do robots have the same rights as us, and do clones have the same rights as us? Let's talk about it ASAP before it's too late, because it's going to be too late to talk about when the first one's here and somebody's like, well, he or she's thinking on their own. I know it's a robot. But no, I download the AI, but it changed. It changed AI on its own. It's smart. It can have a baby. Like, listen, here we go. All right, we need to decide this right now. Mr. Robot was about a mentally ill person, right? Oh my goodness. I'm going to go back and watch it. But you are right. The boy was mentally ill. I remember he was seeing stuff. So you have to ask yourself, did he see the entire show? I get what you're saying, for sure, for sure. All right. Other than that, that has been the show for the day. Make sure you smash that like and share. And of course, we will see you all on Wednesday with some more news. Hopefully, I see some sunlight. It's trying to come. Hopefully, I get a little sunlight today. But wherever you at, stay